1-2 pitch. Called third strike. The Cardinals strike out 10.
That was it, Mel. That was a winner, baby.
You know, when the new Busch Stadium.
Hey, it's an unofficial holiday in the city of St. Louis, and you knew this was going to be a great opening day by the way it got started. Hall of Famer Lou Brock throwing out the ceremonial first pitch.
Yeah, Lou Brock right down the middle.
Lou, as they used to say. Oh, I get goosebumps. He is my all-time favorite Cardinal. What would opening day be without the Clydesdales too, right? We have live team coverage of the home opener set up for you tonight. Jeff Bernthal is outside the ballpark, live in Ballpark Village with the joyous fans. But first, Mel, we want to go inside the ballpark to News 11 sports director Rich Gould, who has a lot of highlights. Rich?
Hey, Rich.
Yeah, best open.
Remember how this day started off, right?
I was very worried this morning.
Rainy. Everyone just thought, oh, it's going to be the worst opening day ever. It turned out to be one of the best, one that fans will remember for the ages. Time to bring on the hero of the day, right?
Yeah.
It would be John Fuller. John, you really came through. We'll give you the credit this time.
Well, we talked about it last week.
He'll look back at the Cardinals highlights from the 10 years at the new Busch Stadium.
There have been some 2 World Series champions and maybe another one this season. We lost the first 3 games of the season, looked terrible in Pittsburgh, and now it's 4 straight. A 4-game winning streak, and Melanie, they have scored 41 runs in the last 4 games.
They were just saving it all for coming back home,
yeah,
right?
For home cooking.
They want to make their fans happy. They certainly did today.
They did it with 10 more today. That's it from the outfield, formerly known as Mike Shannon's, across from Busch Stadium 3.
And we will be back in just a bit, but first we're going to send it over to Dan Gray back in the studio for all of the news of the day. Dan?
Hey, Dan.
All right, Melanie and Andy, thank you.
I'm a beer and a dog guy, but the chefs, and they are chefs over at the ballpark, they're really stepping up their game again this season. Here's News 11's Rocky Madden.
If you love food, you're...
You know, there's a 2-tiered story here today. 1, the ball game.
Right.
Cardinals won 10-1. 2, the weather. I mean, this day did not look like it was going to end up like this at around 10 or 11 o'clock this morning.
I know, John, you were talking about the timing.
I don't know if you noticed this, Mel, but I did big time. The police presence, it seemed bigger than ever.
Everywhere.
Even compared to World Series. I don't know, that must not be the case, but it sure felt that way, and people have been texting and tweeting me. They thought the same thing. And St. Louis police have a 2-word warning for fans this year. Those 2 words, park smart. The police chief really stressing that. He says there was a significant police presence in downtown St. Louis and around the ballpark today. That's all he'll say. He won't get specific about numbers. He never does. But even so, he says safety and prevention fall as much on the fans as they do police, which may have fans with concealed carry permits thinking, hey, I'll bring my gun. But the chief says just the opposite. He's stressing park smart. It means if you drive to a game, park on the path, not off the beaten path, in parking lots that are well lit with attendants on duty. And do not leave valuables in your cars, especially your guns.
If you come to a Cardinals game,
John Fuller, can you do it again tomorrow? We got another game.
Even better tomorrow, no doubt. In the morning, we'll start off with clear skies and frost into the 60s later this week. Melanie, Andy?
Thank you, John. That'll do it from the ballpark on opening day, St. Louis.
So exciting.
Woo!
Thanks for watching.
What a great one.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is next. Have a wonderful night.
Good night.
Good evening. First News 11 at 7. 2 children who were the subject of an Amber Alert after their baby brother was shot and killed have been found safe.
But the search continues for their father, who is wanted for shooting his own baby boy. We have team coverage for you tonight. News 11's Betsy Bruce and Rocky Madden, both live, and we begin with Rocky, who's live where those children were found. Rock.
Yeah, Andy, we're in Belle Fountain Neighbors and Rocky Madden, News 11.
Rocky, thank you. And police are still looking for the children's father, wanted for shooting his own baby boy.
News 11's Betsy Bruce joins us from St. Louis Police Headquarters, where the police say the man they are looking for, Betsy, is considered very dangerous.
Bomarito Automotive Skyfox was over the scene of a body found this afternoon in a yard at Greer and Clay in North St. Louis. No word on the person's identity or how they died. And a man is in critical condition tonight after a shooting near downtown St. Louis. It happened just before 10 o'clock this morning in the Peabody Housing Complex. Police say a 21-year-old man was shot twice in the torso when someone in a black Chevy Impala opened fire. That suspect remains at large.
It is day 2 of
the push to keep missing persons cases from ending in tragedy is expanding in the St. Louis area through something called Project Lifesaver tonight. It is especially effective for those on the autism spectrum, those with Alzheimer's or Down syndrome. And it boasts that in more than 3,100 cases nationwide, the lost have been found safe and sound every time. It may be a far cry from a fire hose, but High Ridge firefighter John Barton has become an expert on how to use it. It may end up saving his son Lucas someday. It has to do with the little transmitter Lucas wears on his ankle. When the antenna is turned on, it chirps when Lucas and his transmitter are within 3 miles.
The signal strength increases as we get closer.
The chirps get louder the closer the antenna gets to Lucas, who happens to be at one of his favorite places, Daddy's Firehouse.
50% of kids with autism will wander, and Alzheimer's is 60%. So when you have somebody that's missing, that can have problems communicating, that might not be aware of the dangers that they face, this program could be the difference between life and death, finding them quickly.
Most don't realize this Bowles Elementary School kindergartner is on the autism spectrum, but his parents worry it may become an issue if he ever gets lost.
He does communicate very well, but he communicates with strangers when we're around. I don't know that if he was lost and truly didn't know where he was at, that he would reach out to somebody and tell them that he's lost.
The Project Lifesaver program costs his family $25 a month, which covers the waterproof transmitter and batteries. The different color options made it an easy sell for Lucas, who likes to test his transmitter as part of his nightly routine. Most importantly, when tested, the stuff works.
On the last search scenario, I actually drove my vehicle to a parking lot, parked it, and then walked several hundred feet away in the woods and hid by a tree. And they were still able to find me in 8 minutes.
The High Ridge Fire Protection District has added another antenna thanks to a $5,000 grant from the Autism Speaks organization. Florissant Police and the St. Clair County Sheriff's Department are also enrolled in the program. We have a link to the Project Lifesaver website on our website, kplr11.com.
A live look tonight at the Gateway Arch. It was a beautiful morning and the clouds rolled in, but it's still gorgeous outside. A little bit more humid, I think, Andy. Out there.
Yeah, we had a little sprinkle out there in High Ridge when I was out there shooting that story on the
Great story
search
too, by
and
the way.
find device.
That's right.
Let's check in with News 11 Chief Meteorologist John Fuller. Hey, John.
Yeah, and the rain is sliding by to our south.
It's the end of an era, the old Crestwood Plaza coming down.
As News 11's Chandrea Thomas reports, the city held a groundbreaking ceremony today, and another chunk of the building came tumbling down. Six Flags' new virtual reality coaster opens to the general public Sunday. This guy wants to be first in line.
Yeah, no way. But News 11's Patrick Clark, he's a different story. He got a sneak peek and a wild ride this afternoon.
What a gorgeous night out there.
According to my almanac, the official sunset is around 8:15. And my almanac is in the Weather Center. His name is John Fuller.
He's the official expert.
It does say that. Every forecast we have this.
This just into our newsroom now on our breaking news from the top of the newscast tonight. Police have found the car of Deotta Crockett. Mel, he's the guy who was wanted for shooting and killing his own 8-month-old son. And they have been looking for that black Hyundai Sonata.
Yeah, Crockett's still on the loose. This was found in Canfield Park. That's in Ferguson now. 2 other children were with him, with the mother of that child.
The other 2 kids are reportedly safe. But again, his car has now been found in Ferguson. But he remains at large and is still considered to be extremely dangerous, according to police. We'll keep you posted.
On a very sloppy track.
Nyquist may need some NyQuil.
All right.
I liked it. I liked it very much.
He's got a fever, yes.
Pretty weak? All right. You go, king of the fun. No last word for weather?
No.
Oh, we're running out of time. Thank goodness. That's News 11 for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Primetime continues with The Flash. Have a great night, everyone.
King of the fun. Pull it.
The remaining suspect in the fatal carjacking on Washington Avenue Sunday has been shot and killed by police. The other suspect turned himself in to authorities on Tuesday.
News 11's Alex Fees is live with late details on how it all went down and how police pieced it all together. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Andy and Melanie.
Summer is here, but St. Louis kids find themselves locked out of their own neighborhood park. Summit Place Park replaced a rundown house 15 years ago. But with a bevy of criminal activity there, the gates were locked last June, and now residents don't want to be locked out for a second straight summer. It's not supposed to be this way. Instead of children playing here,
right here, you see where it was burnt up?
There's a list of reasons why they can't. Residents say Summit Place Park was forced to shut down last summer.
They shut it down for safety, and then when the park people come and clean it up, they find needles. You know what I'm saying? Alcohol bottles.
A walkthrough quickly turns up evidence. She says the empty baggies are for marijuana use. She routinely finds broken glass, used lighters, blunt wrappers, condoms, and hypodermic needles. She wants the crime cleaned up before the park is reopened.
We got residents seeing this and want to come over and just sit. I'd like to come up here and sit. That used to be my little favorite bench over there, just sit back and relax. It's not safe. We had too much shooting up in here. We had too much drug activity.
If the kids want to play, let the kids play.
There are residents who say it's simply not safe for kids to be locked out. Let police handle the crime and open the park now.
My niece and nephew riding their bike, he fall off his bike, a car speeding up and down the alley. That's like a highway, this is alley right here.
We need help over here.
Alderman Chris Carter says the city's Land Reutilization Authority, the LRA, owns the property and residents are feuding over control of the locks. He wants to bring the property under control of the Parks Department. He says the locks could be gone within days.
When your Primetime News Source continues.
Election on 11, Donald Trump reaches a major milestone in his bid for the White House. A heart-dropping moment for a photographer in Jefferson County. He was suddenly missing $6,000 worth of camera gear. But a good Samaritan plus Facebook led to a joyful reunion. He's become known nationwide for photographing newborns, but James Bird's booming business nearly came to a sudden stop Monday.
So this one right here is like the best lens I have for sure. This is my portrait lens, which is the best on the market. I can't imagine not having it whatsoever.
That right there is like $2,500.
$2,500 for.
After 5 years and thousands of photo shoots, the unimaginable happened. Bird left behind the very expensive tools of his trade. After taking these photos at the Sandy Creek Covered Bridge in Hillsborough.
I got caught up in the moment. I set it down like right there and walked away and took photos of the kids and kept taking photos of the kids and forgot all about the bag.
Deborah Barbray of Hillsborough found the lenses and posted the news on the Jeffco 411 Facebook page. Newborn is your specialty? Bird didn't see the post, but his friend did. The same friend also saw that he had just posted photos from the bridge on his J&A Photography Facebook page. She put 2 and 2, James and Deborah, together. He posted a thank you, but wanted to take it a step further, knowing how easy it would have been for someone to turn a quick dollar off of his misfortune.
Right now, everyone with a camera is a professional photographer, so they could have easily either used it for their own gain or someone else could have grabbed it and sold it on Craigslist for $100 and not even knowing what they had. To see someone else do something amazing really touches my heart.
There's some great photos. I spoke with Deborah Barbray, who found the lenses. She said she was at the bridge with her kids and dog, saw them, and did what she hoped anyone else would have done. She had no idea they were worth so much money, but said it wouldn't have made a difference. And if anyone, Bird would seem to be in for a little good fortune. He served 15 years in the Navy, including combat duty in Iraq.
Nice to know there are honest people out there, right?
Yeah, great story.